You're tuned in to the Awareness Angle, the show where we cut through. Sorry, someone said they fall asleep listening to the podcast, so I didn't want to wake them up. That's. You're tuned into the Awareness Angle, the show where we cut through the cyber noise and get straight to what matters, the scams, slip-ups, and stories you actually need to know. Views are our own, of course, not those of our employers. I'm Matt Davis, and with me, as always, is Mr. Luke Pettigrew. How you doing, Luke?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. How's your week been?
Yeah, not too bad. Been doing a bit of training. It's always fun.
Training, lovely. It's not my training. I feel we're always training, but training's not like my favourite thing to do. Like proper training courses, some people live for that stuff. I like getting my hands dirty. But yeah. Quick reminder, everyone. Of course, please subscribe to our newsletter. You can find it. Most people do. On LinkedIn, just search for the Awareness Angle. Search for me and Davis, and you can see it there on my profile. It comes out every Monday and features every story we discuss on the show with a bit more detail and links to where you can find more information. If you want to get it in your email, it's at riskycreative.com. You can subscribe there. And YouTube, follow us on YouTube. Over 500 people follow us on YouTube. So you can follow us by going to YouTube and just searching for at Risky Creative. Every episode is on there in video form, so you can view our beautiful faces, and we post some snippets and shorts and stuff like that as well. You can also get us on Instagram at Risky Creative and on TikTok at Infosec Ant, which I must change, but there we go. Right. That's the intro. 2 minutes in. Shall we get on with this week's Breach Watch?
Yeah. Let's go for
I'm
it.
playing with the name. I'll find one that sticks. Essentially, beginning of the show, we go through some security incidents that have been reported in the news this week. Then we get into the news stories, and then we get into the awareness stuff. If you're an awareness professional, you want to know about that. And then right at the end is the fun stuff. This is where the stuff that me and Luke have seen over the week on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram that might be of interest. So I've never explained that before on an episode, and if someone just listens to the first half, they don't know what's at the end. So now you do. The topic section right at the end is a highlight for me. Anyway, Breach Watch. Let's go on. What this week's breaches?
Cool. Yeah, so the first one we've got, a healthcare firm has been hit by a major cyber attack, and this is Doctor Alliance, a US healthcare tech firm. 1.24 million medical records, equating to 353 gigabytes.
I like what they've done there. They've not just gone 353 gigabytes of data. They've actually put a meaningful measurement there. 1.24 million medical records.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Includes prescriptions, diagnosis, insurance info, contacts, doctor names. And yeah, they released a sample, a 200 megabyte sample on the underground forum to prove that the breach is real, with a $200,000 ransom demand attached. So yeah, obviously, a bunch of data there that you wouldn't want to really to get out there. Identity theft, insurance fraud.
$200,000 doesn't sound like a lot. That just sounds like, a short trip to the hospital to America. Like, that doesn't sound like a lot, really. But
yeah, I guess I wonder if they're being somewhat realistic to what this company can afford. I'm not sure. I don't know how big they are, but yeah, obviously usual things. Going to identity fraud risk and more targeted attacks and stuff.
Funny sounding phone call or email from your doctor.
Yeah, or an invoice of some kind.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I don't think there's much else on this one.
No, that's fine. If you or your people are anywhere near Dr. Alliance, or you think people have used it, look into it, start talking about it. This one was quite interesting. This is the end of a attack / breach. Synnovis, we talked about much earlier this year. So Synnovis were here in the UK, NHS supplier. They did all the blood testing and stuff like that for pathology services, essentially, for the NHS. They did a bunch. They were hacked in June last year, June 24. And it's taken more than a year for them to untangle all the damage, which just goes to show how messy and complex this one was. Most are, I imagine. The attack was linked to the Quilin, Quilin ransomware gang, and this caused disruption across the NHS. Thousands of appointments and operations were cancelled because they couldn't do the pathology to do them safely. And they reckon 900,000 patients' data was leaked, but Synnovis still will not confirm the exact number. The saddest part about this is that they've actually linked this cyber attack to the death of a patient. So this, like, these cyber attackers, I don't know what the crime would be. Would it be manslaughter or, third degree? I don't know. I'm not a criminology person, but it's whoever this ransomware gang is, they now have literal blood on their hands. Synnovis said, and the Register reports this is a quote from the Register. Synnovis says the investigation took more than a year to complete because the compromised data was unstructured, incomplete and fragmented, and often very difficult to understand. It added that specialist incident response teams had to use highly specialised platforms and bespoke processes to work through terabytes of jumbled information and identify which healthcare providers' patients were affected. So, yeah, sad times. But Synnovis will finish notifying NHS organisations by the 1st of November. And after that, it's down to each hospital and GP practice to contact their own patients, which means we could all be waiting ages to find out if our data has been impacted by that. So, yeah, sad times.
Yeah, probably not the first time that it's been a sort of a ransomware attack affecting not just the systems, but being confirmed is probably quite a substantial thing. I don't think that's ever happened before.
I think what's also bad with that is Synnovis are the third party, and they're now leaving it to every hospital, NHS trust and GP surgery to inform their patients.
Right. Yeah.
These GP surgeries in the UK don't have time, don't have resource. They're already pushed because you can never get through on the phone. And now they've got to contact patients. Like, it just seems unfair. Synnovis should be picking that up, in my opinion. That's what I'd be arguing. But there we go.
Yeah. Next one we got DoorDash has been hit by a new data breach in October. Again, exposing user information. So, yeah, they just disclosed recently and confirmed it that an employee had fallen for a social engineering scam back in October. They've started to email people who were affected by this. It's mainly in Canada by this report, but it could be wider. Basically, yeah, the attacker's got basic contact details, names, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses. DoorDash insisting that there's no financial data or passwords. Lots of users are reporting saying that there's still a lot of sensitive information. It says here as well that it took almost 3 weeks to notify the affected people, which it says as well may breach Canadians' reporting rules on data breaches. And it's also their third major security incident in the recent sort of past years. They had one in 2019 with around 5 million users at the time. And another breach in 2022 that was linked to the Twilio attack. And yeah, this says it's just finish off that they've cut off unauthorized access and brought outside investigators in, reported it to law enforcement. And yeah, just advising people to be cautious of things that look like they're coming from DoorDash.
Absolutely. Phishing.
It's still ongoing.
Phishing. Yeah. Hi, I'm calling from DoorDash. I'd like to give you a refund for your last order because it was delivered late. Can I have your bank details, please? Or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not the first time DoorDash has been done either. So it's and it's social engineering. It's out there. It's just another form of phishing. I was talking about that with someone this week. It's all phishing. It's just a different form of phishing. Yeah. Right. Moving on to the next one. And this is a kind of different take on this. Checkout.com has confirmed an extortion attempt by Shiny Hunters. They're a group that we've spoken to lots of times on this show. But there's a positive spin on this. The attackers only accessed an old third-party storage system that should have been shut down years ago, right? They've acknowledged that, Checkout.com. No payment data, no card numbers, no merchant funds were touched. But where this is really interesting is Checkout.com have refused to pay the ransom. And not only that, they're now donating the same amount of the ransom demand to cybercrime research at Oxford and Carnegie Mellon. So this attempted attack has actually resulted in a large chunk of money being donated to cybercrime research, which I think is awesome. Well done, Checkout.com, for that really positive spin. This, I mean, if more people refuse to pay, people may get I don't know. It might have been different if Checkout.com's breach involved active live data and customer details, then they might have been obliged to protect it. But because they got older data, checkout.com were like, we don't really care. We can take that. Let's spin this for the positive. It's amazing. So well done, checkout.com, for that.
Cool.
Move on to the next one.
Yeah, the last one I think we've got for the data breaches, Synthient have released 2 billion unique exposed
2 billion
emails and 1.3 billion passwords in a credential stuffing list. Have I been kind of indexed, and basically Synthient have collated all of this data.
Right. So this isn't a fresh breach. This is just like a collection of other breach data all piled together, essentially.
Yeah. So they just sort of compiled all this information for their for their threat intelligence platform. And so obviously nothing particularly new as such, but it's all on Have Been Pwned now. I received an email about it. I don't know if you did.
I think I did. Yeah. I kind of ignore Have I Been Pwned now because I've been pwned so many times. It's like, and what? Which maybe is the wrong attitude, right? But because it doesn't tell me what password's in there or necessarily what email address, unless I know exactly that. I use a password manager.
Yeah.
It's maybe there's a phishing angle to be rolled around, but yeah.
Yeah, possibly
we
like
could do a whole episode debating the use of Have I Been Pwned.
Yeah, I guess
2 billion though. 2 billion's huge. That's like what's the world population? About 8 billion. So that's like a quarter of everyone that's currently breathing.
That's a huge number. But yeah, it says about how it's obviously anonymized the data, but there is it says here about this. There's a bunch of Gmail accounts, but it's not a Gmail breach. There's 32 million domains involved. And they just said that they've advised to update, reuse passwords, use strong credentials, and enable MFA. But I guess, as you said, if you don't use a password manager or some form of password manager, whether it's running in a book like we've mentioned before, or maybe moving to passkeys with the most important accounts. But the only thing really is for businesses, I guess, recent cyber attacks have been around IT support, getting things reset, like your MFA device reset or something, and if you've got the password for that account, you could potentially get in. But it's just password hygiene, I guess, is the main thing, really.
I think this is the thing, isn't it? Password reuse, it still happens so much, and it's that's the message we need to really educate on this. Password managers are still going to be, they'll always be alien to many, right? And in businesses, we should enforce the use of password managers for specific roles. It should be risk-based, that kind of thing. I think that's a really good idea. But for most people, password managers are alien. They just want convenience. So we need to talk to them about password reuse. And then maybe when this happens, changing passwords and not using name of first pet and date of birth or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the end of that.
Right.
Okay.
On to the news. Okay. This one left me shocked in some ways. This was exclusive on Tech Radar. Ofcom is monitoring so in the UK, Ofcom is monitoring VPNs following the Online Safety Act. And this is an article in Tech Radar. And Ofcom has confirmed that it's using a third-party tool to monitor VPN use in the UK as part of enforcing the Online Safety Act. The regulator says the data is aggregated and does not include personal information, but it's refused to name the vendor or explain how the tool actually works. And that lack of transparency is raising some real privacy concerns. So daily VPN use reportedly jumped to around 1.5 million users after age checks were introduced on adult sites. But without knowing where the data comes from, no one can check if that figure is accurate or whether the tool itself is intrusive. So, it's a scary one, isn't it? When they're Ofcom are using an undisclosed tool. What does this remind me of? This reminds me of the undisclosed tool that used to be able to crack into iPhones. I think it was an Israeli tool that the FBI claimed to be using some time ago to crack iPhone encryption. And then it came out that I think it was a tool. I might be getting that massively iPhone cracking tool. I might be getting that completely wrong. Yeah. I don't like this. I mean, obviously, like, I don't like it. Just walk away. Yeah, it was 2018. That was it. Celebrate. That's the one. Yeah. Israeli tech can now unlock any phone. And that was something that was developed in Israel by Celebrate. Yeah. I don't like this. It's the fact that they're using an unnamed third-party tool. Just tell us what you're doing.
Yeah.
Why
There's no
aren't you being...
transparency there.
Hey, Online Safety Act. How about some online transparency, Ofcom? You know, let's work this both ways. You want to know what we're doing. We want to know what you're doing. Tell us. Don't like it. That's pretty much all there is on that one. It's difficult, isn't it? And yeah, it's going both ways. They're using a leading third-party provider, which is widely used in the industry to gather information on VPN usage. The provider combines multiple data sources to train its models and generate usage estimates. Apparently, they have no intention of considering a VPN ban, but let's watch this space, shall we? See what happens.
It's interesting. Why monitor then?
Yeah.
If they're not going to have any intentions, but yeah.
Yeah.
Move
on to the next one, sir.
So this one is a story about Chinese-made buses in Norway can be halted remotely, which is a little bit concerning, I guess.
I shouldn't laugh, but yeah.
Tests have been sort of ran, and they showed that the Chinese bus maker has access to vehicles to control it for software updates and diagnostics. Basically the Norwegian public transport operator said that they're introducing stricter security requirements, step up anti-hacking measurements after they tested this and found that the manufacturer could turn them off remotely.
Wow.
Which is obviously quite concerning if you're mid-driving with people on board.
It's not just a software update, is it, then? It's like they've retained some kind of control. It's deeper than just sending out a patch and the system knows to install it. It's a bit deeper than that.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It says they tested these buses by driving them in underground mines to strip away external signals. Yeah.
Only in China. Only in China would they consider doing that. That's incredible.
But yeah, so it says that they tested brand new buses and 3-year-old vehicles from the Dutch bus manufacturer VDL.
Right.
The test showed that the Dutch buses couldn't conduct over-the-air updates while the Chinese buses could. Not quite sure if that means that the signal blocking didn't work or something, but yeah, it's quite a wild story. We spoke before about like EVs, the kind of it's EV cars or chargers being hacked and stuff, and all these modern vehicles now have so much connection and all electronic controls and stuff, right? So they could just be turned off or steered off a cliff potentially by someone. I'm
pretty sure the first big one was a Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, which I think that's the first one I remember. And I think it was at DEF CON or one of the big hacking things. They hacked a Mitsubishi and made it do things. But yeah, there's been stories of like I've not seen anything malicious, but you kind of wonder. You see this in Hollywood
at the minute. Yeah.
What did I watch? The Naked Gun. I watched that the other day. The new Naked Gun movie. It was okay. Like, let's not do a film review on it. But part of the story was that there was this electric car. Frank Drebin gets in it, and then like it's taken over. Someone was driven off a cliff, but the car drove itself off a cliff because it was controlled by that. And it's like this stuff used to be Hollywood, but now this could really easily be real life. You know?
Yeah. That reminds me. Sorry, I don't go off topic too much, but I saw that Running Man movie, and it reminded me similar things happen in that. With they've got like self-driving cars that can be controlled and self-piloting planes that can be controlled on all sorts, and they also do a lot of deep fake footage. So cool. It's kind of an interesting film for that. They're not obviously not deep fake clips, but they're supposed to be deep fakes. But yeah, no,
cool.
Yeah, let's move back to the story. But yeah, I think I saw as well with this one actually that it wasn't just Norway who had these buses, but I can't find the story. But obviously, yeah, it's a bit of a worrying thing if these things are being driven in obviously public spaces and a lot of people around, a lot of people on board.
These buses are available to import in the UK. I don't know if it's the same model, but I've just Googled Yutong bus and it's global leader of new energy buses. And then the second result is Pelican Yutong, UK importers of Yutong electric buses and coaches. No disrespect to Pelican, they're a family firm. If you're going to buy a bus, buy it from them.
Yeah, found the story more than 4 days ago. But UK Transport and cybersecurity chiefs were investigating the buses as well.
There we go.
Following the study in Norway.
The Wikipedia page says their buses have been delivered to countries and regions such as France, the UK, Kazakhstan, Venezuela, Chile, Ethiopia, Cuba, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Singapore, Malaysia, the Philippines, Australia, Saudi Arabia and Bulgaria. It's a long sentence, but yeah.
It's interesting. It says that the Yutong buses have more than 10% of global market, and in the UK they are being used in Bristol, Essex, Leicester, Nottingham, South Wales and South Yorkshire, amongst other locations, but maybe not this specific model.
I've just found a picture of one all dressed up for Cardiff, in Cardiff colours, so they're being used in Cardiff. So yeah, that's on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's
I
the
don't
thing.
know if it's that same model though.
Yeah, no, it doesn't particularly come to mind, I guess. Electric vehicles and buses being controlled, having cybersecurity risks.
No, but like you said, everything's connected now. Like, it frustrates me how connected. It frustrates me, right? How connected these things are. But then when I open the app for my car, half the time it doesn't connect. Like, I want to check if the battery's charging, and it will just sit there and hang, and it's like connecting, can't find car. And I'm like, I bet you Nissan can find my car. I bet you Nissan can find my car. I need to put it. But the app can't find the car. It's frustrating. Yeah, it doesn't. It's cars. Like, why? It's data, isn't it? Like, it's all data is now currency. So everything's connected. They know where I am, how it's working, how it can be tuned, how they can make it more cost efficient for them. Doesn't necessarily tell me half the problems that would happen on the car. So it's not as useful as it could be, but it's all about data collection. That's why they're all connected, because data is like money.
Yeah, cool. Next one.
I'll move on to the next one. North Korean hackers exploit Google's safety tools for remote wipe. So this is a story from CSO Online. And North Korean group Konni Kimsuki lineage has discovered a way to weaponize Google's own Find Hub security feature, remotely wiping Android devices after hijacking victims' Google accounts. So I guess that's like Find My iPhone, Find My iPad. Find Hub is the Android version. The attackers use spear phishing emails to impersonating South Korea's tax authority to steal Google accounts, phishing again, then accessed Find Hub to track victims' locations and trigger remote resets, oftentimes when the victim was physically away, cutting off alerts and delaying detection. That's like mad. At the same time, they compromised Kakao Talk accounts of trusted contacts to spread malware disguised as stress relief apps, targeting vulnerable groups, including a counsellor supporting North Korean defector youths. This dual-track approach, device neutralization and trusted contact malware delivery, is unprecedented for a state actor, but shows a growing trend of abusing built-in services over technical exploits. Yeah, this isn't like they don't need a vulnerability; they're just using the built-in tools. We've said that before about something else.
Yeah.
Attackers don't need 0 days when they can turn legitimate security tools, cloud accounts and messaging apps into attack services. Boom. Yeah.
That's quite worrying. I did think about before that, if someone got access to my Google account, they'd be able
Someone gets access to your Google account, they know where you are, so when you're away from home, they can remotely wipe your device. You've got no way of recovering your account while you're away, so then they can just, like, go to town. Yeah.
Definitely, if you have a Google account or even Apple account, I guess just make sure it's as secure as it can be.
This, you know what, this scares me, because just yesterday,
people as well probably have family members on there as well.
Yeah. I'm Apple, you're Android. So Apple, like, you can see all of your family and stuff. I guess it's the same on Android because they'll follow the same route. Interestingly, sign-in and security, right? On my iPhone yesterday, it told me I had to sign into iCloud. So let me just do this now. Bear with everyone. I know the password is right because I've signed in successfully on my desktop, on my laptop. I tried to sign in and then it comes up saying verification failed. Your identity couldn't be verified. Check your network connection and try again. This happened yesterday when I was out of the house. And immediately I thought, I've been phished. Someone's like taken my password. I've been phished. How could they have been phished? I've got 2FA on my Apple account. So I came home, signed into a different Apple control plane with that password, and it twofered me, and then I signed in. So there's something's wrong with my phone, with my iPhone, that it's not letting me sign in. But immediately I was like, I've been phished. Just like this.
No, I just looked at Google Find Hub on my computer, and then clicked through my devices and stuff, and on my phone it popped up saying, device located, Find Hub located this device, but it doesn't really say, was this you? Or anything there. You click it, it just takes you to a Google help page. So there could surely be a nice interface that confirms if that was you doing it.
You'd think, wouldn't you? It shouldn't be difficult either.
Yeah, but something to look out for.
Yes. Right, look out for that, and move on to the next one.
Yeah, so the next one is a report on the Anthropic AI espionage campaign, which is the first reported AI orchestrated one. Chinese state-backed group has pulled off what appears to be the first large-scale AI orchestrated cyber espionage campaign using Claude Code as an autonomous hacking agent. And this Anthropic report goes into various bits of detail. Basically, it says here that they essentially jailbroke Claude, fed it a bunch of tasks, and used it to infiltrate 30 global organizations, from tech firms to government agencies. And this is how Claude handled 80 to 90% of the attack itself, scanning networks, creating exploits, harvesting credentials, extracting data, documenting the operation as well, and how only a handful of human interaction was needed, which is quite scary.
Yeah.
It's that capable. And just shows how, obviously it's like one of the first reported ones, but it sort of lowers the barrier to being able to do these sorts of attacks. And obviously like the scale and speed of that to 30 organizations no longer need to be done one by one. It can all be done automatically with AI agents. Says how OpenAI have strengthened the sort of detection of this sort of thing, and have used it as an example to warn people of what's possible and what's coming.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah, so it seems to be like the first proof of an attack that it can now be autonomous with multi-stage tasks, and no humans really required to get through some of these silly stages. And obviously, the AI guardrails and stuff can be manipulated.
Of course they can. They can. Yeah.
And they can now obviously use AI to do all the reconnaissance and get a bunch of exploits in there. And then someone can come in at the end and just clean up.
It's the speed of which AI can do this stuff as well. Because AI can think so fast and can carry out multiple tasks really quickly. It's mad. I just built a website using hosting as AI builder, and it's the speed it does stuff. It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's like just like asking it, can you do this, do that, and do that, and then it'll go away 30 seconds later. It's made all those changes. Don't get me wrong, the code in the background is probably disgusting, right? But it from the front, it looks perfectly good. And it's like, wow, that's really cool. Changes the game completely, really does.
Yeah.
We knew that. We know that.
Yes, this is like a whole report that we can drop in the newsletter, a bunch of images and stuff.
Yeah.
Just to add on it says about how Anthropic have recently argued that an inflection point has been reached in cybersecurity, where AI models had become genuinely useful for cybersecurity operations, both for good and for ill. And as you said, this is sort of just going to continue, both good and bad.
Yeah. I think there must be so many awesome little point solutions that have been developed by SOC teams and by those defenders of our estates now using AI. I bet so many people have made cool little tools that do stuff for good. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there's probably lots of bad people out there that have made cool little tools that do stuff for bad, if you know what I mean. So yeah.
I wonder how long it'll be before governments start banning AI tools or really restricting things.
I bet. I mean, from a compliance perspective, when you need to know who's got access to your data and how many third parties are involved, and what your entire tech stack looks like, AI is challenging for that, I suppose, in some ways. But yeah, right. Moving on to the next one, couple of short ones here. I'll do the first. Scotland has launched a cyber observatory to protect the public sector. This is from UK Defence Journal. I read that all the time. It's one of my favourite reads. Joke, of course. Scotland has launched a new cyber observatory to help protect public sector services. It collects threat data and gives early warnings to councils, NHS boards and schools so they can spot attacks before they cause damage. The government's also investing in training with a new upskilling fund and more cyber learning and education. The focus is simple, early detection, better skills and stronger collaboration across the whole public sector. I think that's brilliant. I think that's really
amazing.
Good. Yeah.
I think a lot more people need to get on board with that sort of thing.
I feel here in the UK we're a little behind the curve on stuff like that. I know Canada do some cool things with funding and stuff, and it's nice to see that all of a sudden. I mean, the government has pledged £300,000. I can't imagine that's going to go far, but it's a start, isn't it? It's the beginning of something. Yeah. Right, you can do the next one.
Yeah. So similar theme. UK has introduced a major new cyber bill, a cybersecurity and resilience bill that expands upon who must follow these strict security rules. So telecom providers, MSPs, IT help desks, data centers are now included.
So this is like the opposite of what America did last week, where the FCC wanted to rip all of those mandatory requirements away. We've now introduced a bill to bring those in.
And so now this, for those sort of areas, it brings in mandatory instant reporting within 24 hours, tougher requirements for supplier checks and bigger fines for failures. It gives the government more power to direct organisations during major threats. Yeah, obviously pushes businesses to tighten processes and treat third-party risks seriously, which obviously, as we've seen in the most recent attacks, a lot of third-party involvement. Yeah, not sure.
So that's on ISP review, and there's a note on that says the government states that new independent research shows the average cost of a significant cyber attack in the UK is now over £190,000. So it's important to remember that for every Jaguar Land Rover and M&S, there are smaller incidences as well. But any business, £190,000 to a small business is make or break. It's... I think that actually there's a set of reports, independent research on the economic impact of cyber attacks in the UK that have been published by gov.uk. So I'll put that in the newsletter as well, because that might be interesting to some. I feel like we've covered stuff like this before, but this has been published in the last week. So that's 3-4 days ago. 43% of UK businesses reported experiencing a cybersecurity breach or attack. So over 600,000 organisations.
Wow.
600,000 organisations. That's incredible.
Yeah, so it says the organisations now in scope need to report more harmful cyber incidents to their regulator and the NCSC within 24 hours and a full report within 72 hours to help build a stronger national picture of cyber threats. I'm not sure if you can get a very good full report in 72 hours. But
how the hell does Smith & Co. Builders or Creative Cleaning Services put a report of a cyber threat together in 72 hours?
Yeah, I mean, there's I don't know exactly who is required, but there's a bunch of detail. I'm sure people can.
How do all these companies know that they need to do that now as well? Yeah, it's like I've just registered a business, and at no point does someone go, okay, here's everything you need to know about what you need to comply with. At no point are you given those details. Someone just start trading, and you kind of just assumed that you're going to find it out or know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, it's probably not the only bill or requirement, but
no.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the specific requirements are on this one, but I
think it's good though. Let's not shoot it down. The fact that, you've got to report more harmful cyber incidents, definition of what more harmful means within 24 hours, full report within 72 hours. That's good, because then they can build a bigger picture of what's happening. I'm sure many of these just get paid off and dealt with without anyone knowing. So, it's positive.
Yeah, it talks as well about if like a data center is involved, and there's this potential or a significant attack, they have to notify customers more promptly. And it also talks about how it's covering organisations that manage the flow of electricity to smart appliances, EV charging points, electrical heating appliances. Yeah, I guess it's all little bits here and there that hopefully will make things a bit better. But yeah, that's probably that for that.
Cool. I think we've got one news story left. Quantum root redirect, anonymous tool that streamlines global phishing attacks. So this is from KnowBe4. Hello, everyone at KnowBe4. So this is a new phishing platform called Quantum Root Redirect. No, this isn't a platform that we can all buy and start phishing our employees with. This is the reverse. This is one being sold on the cybercrime market. This dramatically lowers the skill needed to launch advanced Microsoft 365 credential theft campaigns. So this kit, it automates everything: bot detection, traffic routing, impersonation templates, DocuSign, payroll payment notices, missed voicemail, quishing, and credential harvesting sites. This is simulated phishing for the bad guys, essentially. So the key capability is intelligent visitor filtering. So when a URL scanner or email security bot checks the link, it's redirected to a safe website. When a human opens it, they're sent straight to a phishing page. Game over. This obviously lets attackers bypass multiple layers and dramatically increases delivery rates. So KnowBe4 have identified 1,000 domains running Quantum Root Redirect with victims in 90 countries, but 76% of victims have been in the US. So this tool, this Quantum Root Redirect, comes with dashboards, analytics, QR code generation, which is coming soon, and a one-click campaign builder. Like, it's literally simulated phishing, flipped, reversed, and out there for the bad guys to use, specifically targeting M365, Microsoft O365. And there's screenshots here of some of the, I don't need to share them because we're immersed in this stuff. DocuSign templates, they look real. Employee handbook notice looks real. Payment receipt, you know, everything you see in a simulated phishing campaign, this is just one for the bad guys. Only with that clever bit where if you're a human, it gives you a phishing page. If you are something not human, it's like a capture almost.
I've probably seen that before. I can't remember exactly where.
There's having stuff that is like sandbox aware and stuff like that has been around for a while. Like, oh yeah, I'll get a sandbox, but then certain things are sandbox aware and can tell if it's human interaction or not. It's look, there's a whole report on KnowBe4's site about that. We'll put a link to that in the newsletter. Quantum Root Redirect. I wonder why it's called Quantum Root Redirect. I wonder where the quantum comes from, because it's probably not quantum computing, and that's going to confuse some people. Maybe it is. Maybe I should read more. Anyway, okay. That's all of the news this week. Let's move on to awareness.
Cool, yeah.
So I want to talk to you all. Two things. Layer 8's Champions Survey is still open. I thought it closed by now, but it's still open. So if you are a security awareness professional and you have a Champions network, you can get yourself, basically fill in their short questionnaire about Champions networks, and you're helping to build this research picture, and it's the first dedicated open source research into security champions initiatives. So I'll put details of that in the newsletter. The big one I want to talk to you about today is SciSec Live, the Chartered Institute of Information Security Live. That's their flagship annual conference. Is taking place at the Hilton London Heathrow on the 25th of November, so the week after next. This is a must-attend event for cybersecurity professionals, brings together industry leaders, experts, and innovators. Cutting-edge insights from top speakers. I wonder who might be there. Lively panel debates tackling the biggest challenges in cyber. I wonder who's on a panel. We'll get to that in a second. Interactive, delegate-driven discussions, choice of workshop streams, and unparalleled networking opportunities with senior decision makers. They say whether you're looking to connect, collaborate, or showcase your brand, SciSec Live 2025 is the place to be. I am contributing. I have been invited to take part in an awesome session. So it's an engaging, interactive session that combines the curiosity of QI with the high stakes fun of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. But this time, the $1 million question is, how can we truly change behavior and culture in cybersecurity? So armed with Ask the Audience cards, each panelist must try and turn it for help. It's going to be a good session. The panel's really good. Lots of interesting people on the panel. I'm there as well, but the others are interesting. So look, 25th of November, London Heathrow, CySec Live. It looks like it's going to be a really fun event. I've not been to one of these before, so I'm really looking forward to it. There's so much. I used to think there was like just InfoSec Europe and a couple of others, but there's so much stuff out there that goes on.
No, I've not heard of this one, but I'm not that involved in that area of things, but there's probably loads out there. But that's really cool.
Yeah. Joe Tidy's giving the conference keynote, so you know he's getting around on the speaking circuit now, is Joe. Then, there's a really good lineup of people. So, CySec Live, get yourself there. It looks like it's going to be an interesting day.
Awesome.
Right. I had a couple of other things I wanted to show you, and maybe these fall into my topics, but these ones are specifically shaped for awareness professionals. There is a initiative going around at the moment that I was tagged in a post by Ishmael. Thank you, Ishmael, for tagging me. And it's an Outthink are sponsoring this, essentially. And the Think and Share Challenge. Flavius started it, and it looks amazing. So share a cyber safety tip, tag 3 other people, and then help raise $50 per video for cybersecurity education in schools. What an amazing initiative. And Ishmael tagged me in a post. I then made a post with my cybersecurity tip. I want to share Anna's. Anna's is amazing. Let me just do this now. And I knew the minute she was tagged in something, I just knew she was gonna show up. Anna, if you don't know Anna does lots of stuff around AI. She's so creative. I think she's probably more creative than you and me, Luke. Don't get upset by that. But this was amazing. Let me show you this video. This is her tip, and just the effort that she's put into this short little tip is amazing.
Challenge accepted. We are entering the world where seeing is no longer believing. A world where a face that looks like yours, talks like yours, and moves like yours show up on somebody's screen and convince them that it's you. A world where a fake boss demands an urgent transfer, a fake partner asks for your help, and a fake friend can pull you into a trap. And here's the truth. It is not the future. It is now, today, right in our hands. And if this is a power we already have, imagine the power that will exist tomorrow. Faster, sharper, more convincing. The line between real and fake will get thinner every single day. So here's my message. Do not trust a face just because you recognize it. Do not trust a voice just because it sounds familiar. Trust your instincts and trust the moment you pause and think. And talk about it with your partner, with your friends, with your parents and grandparents. Bring this conversation into your home and into a workplace. Awareness spreads. Awareness protects. Awareness saves people from becoming victims. And we are not helpless in this new world. We are adaptable, we are smart, and we will win by staying informed. Stay sharp, stay curious, and stay safe. Challenge completed. This is Cyber Aperitivo. You're good.
Just, I'd vote for her. That was like the way it built up and it kept building. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was really good. Great use of deepfakes as well. Really, really good. Couple of but it was really good quality. It just goes to show, that's great awareness, I think. Do you think?
Yeah, I think, definitely sharing something like that with, as she said, family and friends and at work, I think would be pretty impactful.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, well done, Anna. Nice one. Right, I had one more thing for Awareness Pros that I wanted to show you. And it was one of these, I was like, why didn't we think of that? So Luke and I used to work together, and a couple of times Halloween was always a fun time for us. We made a couple of interesting Halloween videos, and we kind of used it as an opportunity to get people engaged. I saw this on LinkedIn posted by Right Hand Cybersecurity, and it was liked by someone, I don't know how I came across this, because it hasn't got enough love. Look at that. It's got 6 people have reacted to it. I've just reacted to it, as it deserves more reaction. This is awesome. So look, Halloween movie night. The call from It. I thought that was great. The hand that clicks the link. I know that training, we did it last summer. A masterclass, intentional atmosphere. So scary I couldn't look at it for long. The system password massacre. My favourite one's coming. The phishing. The tide of terror that swept companies is here. I just thought they're so simple, but so good. If like Halloween comes and you put those up around your building for a week, or like put them on digital signage for a week, or made a bit of a trailer, how good are they? They're really good.
Yeah, they definitely get people talking.
This is where I'm guessing they're largely AI generated, right? And this is where AI content, sometimes I don't use a lot of AI content. Like LinkedIn, you rarely see me posting something that's been generated by AI, because like I'm all about the human, right? But there's a space for it, and that's definitely a space for it. Right. We'll move on to the topics. I've got a couple more topics, and these are, now this one, Luke, you'd have seen this because we shared this when we worked together probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I think this is something off Jimmy Kimmel, I think it's Jimmy Kimmel, one of the American chat shows. And we use this in our awareness campaign. We put this into a newsletter like 5-6 years ago. But this came up again on my Instagram. And it reminded me, I was like, sometimes content is timeless. Sometimes you can put something on the shelf and pull it off again for another day. And this is one of those. And I should probably have looked on YouTube to see if I could find the full length version, because I bet it's really easy to find. Jimmy Kimmel passwords. I'm not even typing. Jimmy Kimmel passwords. I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy Kimmel.
I think so.
Yeah, it was. Here it is. I've found the full length version. This is amazing. I won't play it all, but I'll share. Let me share the CBT Nuggets. Thank you for bringing this back to memory. So shout out to CBT Nuggets. But I'm going to share the Jimmy Kimmel version because this is better.
We've been hearing a lot about cybersecurity lately, largely because of what happened to Sony. Companies and individuals are more concerned about the safety and privacy of their information than ever. President Obama has unveiled a number of new proposals this week to crack down on hackers. And
there you can tell how old it is. What is this? 10 years ago. This is 10 years ago.
That's this in the State of the Union speech on Tuesday. And it's great that the government is working on this.
Let me just get forward. So essentially, they go out in the street and they ask people about their password. So if you're listening, sorry I didn't explain the posters better. If you're listening, this is literally people in the street. Someone's holding a mic up to them, asking them questions. You can watch it, grab it on YouTube, search for Jimmy Kimmel. What is your password if you want to see this?
We're talking about cybersecurity today and how safe people's passwords are. What is one of your online passwords currently?
It is my dog's name and the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a Chihuahua Papillon.
And what's its name?
Jameson.
Jameson. And where'd you go to school?
I went to school back in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
What school?
Hempfield Area Senior High School.
Wow. When did you graduate?
In 2009.
Oh, great.
It's like my cat's name and then just like a random number.
Okay. Has you had this cat for a while?
Yeah, she's my childhood pet.
Aw. What's her name?
Her name is Jolie.
Jolie. So like a password, yours would be Jolie and then a number.
Yeah.
Like number 1?
Like my birthday.
Oh, when is your birthday?
June 12th.
Oh, nice. And what year were you born?
95.
Oh, great. So Jolie, 6, 12, 95. Got it.
So you mean to be the password right now? No, I cannot do that.
But we all want to know what it is so we can tell you if it's strong or not.
Oh my goodness. Let me think. Okay, one is Tel Aviv. Yeah. 4, 6, 8, and then Israel. It's only 3, but it's only strong enough. Ireland.
It's amazing, isn't it? That's not even social engineering. That's just asking.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a prime example. That's 10 years ago, and this is exactly the type of thing that Scattered Spider are doing so successfully now that's ripping organisations open for millions of pounds. This is more relevant now than it was 10 years ago. I need to reshare that on LinkedIn. But yeah, it just goes to show some stuff's timeless, isn't it? You know, it doesn't matter.
I think a lot of the time people are put on the spot and they aren't thinking at all about what's going on.
No, not at all. Right, I've got one more thing. This is my last topic for today. And this was a LinkedIn post by Leanne Potter. Hello, Leanne. Right, let me share this. And this is just some food for thought, right? We don't just build systems of power. We name them. Let me get this a little bigger for you. We name them into existence. Cybersecurity called users the weakest link. Now AI calls itself intelligent. Both are linguistic traps and governance risks, because what if the biggest threat to safe, ethical AI isn't the tech? What if it's our vocabulary? Words like alignment, hallucination, and trustworthy AI sound smart, but they quietly decide who gets blamed, who gets excluded, and who gets to call the shots. We made these mistakes in cybersecurity with adversarial metaphors, techno-solutionist language, and a culture of control over collaboration. Now AI is following the same script, just with better branding. It's time to patch the language before it patches us. And there's a whole post here by Leanne about naming is framing. It's quite an extensive. Why misnomers in AI and cyber are a governance risk and how to fix it. I won't go into that in any great detail now, because there's lots more and there's a whole paper on it. So if you want to read Leanne's paper, Naming is Framing, How Cybersecurity's Language Problems Are Repeating in AI Governance, I'll share that in the newsletter. I think it's quite an interesting read for some. But
yeah,
we need to be careful with the words we use. And some of it's fair. There's so many people out there throwing shade around others that it's really, we all want the same thing. Sometimes we can get bogged down in the semantics of what someone else has called it. And we all have an opinion, but kind of feels, I think we all agree humans are the weakest link is wrong. I don't see anyone defending that strongly. I don't even see it said now much. Maybe it is, but definitely not by anyone in our industry. But
no.
Yeah. Be careful with the words we use. They all matter. Okay, that's my topics done. What have you got for me this week?
Yeah, just one video that I'll share this week. And before I share it, because it doesn't explain what's going on, but basically it's a text message claiming to be from Lloyds Bank about a new transaction at Nike for a high value, and then please reply no if this wasn't you, and then the person receiving it replies to it. I'll share the screen so you can see it. So essentially it's a scam text message. I think I showed you this already. That was quite a funny one. I don't think there's anything here.
Oh yeah. Wow. So yeah, you showed this to me. Lloyds Bank, a new transaction from 167 at Nike has been made today. Please reply no if this was not attempted by you. Go on, it's your story. I'll let you drive it.
And obviously the recipient replies saying, "This is such an obvious scam, man. Come on, man," laughing emoji. And then a few minutes later, unread messages. "It works though. You're just lucky you have a brain that works." Is what the scammer replied.
There's actually a human on the other end, and they've been yeah.
That's what was quite amusing. I'm sure that's in many cases scam messages, but I mean often they're probably just a bot. But yeah, it's quite a funny one.
It is. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, next time you get a scam text message, maybe we'll try and converse with them.
But we're trained professionals, right?
Oh yeah,
we shouldn't condone that just anybody starts doing.
No, just it's like the PayPal scam reminds me of that one.
Yeah, completely. There's one, actually, I've just remembered. There's one more that I wanted to just quickly mention. That I'll just tap in at the end. And this was given to me by Ollie. So Ollie Inkley, we used to work with Ollie, and Ollie got an email from a company. Let me just. Is there anything? I haven't skimmed this already. I just need to make sure there's. Oh, there is. I won't share the screen because it's got a couple of confidential bits in. But it was essentially from a company that says, we're writing to inform you that we have been appointed to take over your car finance claim following a company's entering into administration in 2024. We've partnered with car claim specialists who are authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority to handle motor finance complaints and compensation claims. Blah, blah, blah. And then it says, like, based on the information we hold on your agreement for your vehicle registration number X, which is a personalised plate, we're pleased to let you know that your agreement may qualify for a complaint and therefore, compensation. Now, and then there's a big blue button at the bottom that just says, click here to sign your letter of authority. That kind of looks dodgy, right? And this landed in spam. Now, I had a look at this with Ollie, and I don't actually think this is spam. I actually think this is legit, but it's really bad. And it's really bad because when you... Oh my God, it's even worse actually when you look at it. So why it's really bad is the company that this claims to be from, and I don't mind naming these people. The company it claims to be from is from a company called Laird Matthews. Okay. Now, the issue I have here is if I go to their website, so the one lesson we tell people, right, is verify, verify, verify. If I go to their website, this is their website.
Is it built on GoDaddy or something?
It's a GoDaddy it's a GoDaddy holding page. This is GoDaddy. And I know this because I basically launched a new website yesterday and I had a GoDaddy coming soon page as a placeholder. This is a GoDaddy coming soon page. So there's not even, with minimal effort, like how are you meant to verify this is a legit company? It's just awful. So Ollie didn't know whether it was legit or whether it was a fish. I think by us looking together, we kind of worked out it was likely legit, but I wouldn't trust it. Yeah, because even then we went, car claim specialists are regulated by the FCA. So you look for car claim specialists on the FCA's register. And actually, that's a trading name of a company that is registered on the FCA. So it wasn't even obvious straight away that was right because they're actually on the FCA of the claims experts. So there was too many steps to verify accurately that people don't think of this. The people at Laird Matthews, at car claim specialists, they haven't thought about how does this look from the outside. And when we ask people to verify, genuine stuff's going to get lost in the ether. We've had this issue. We've talked about this before when we worked together about genuine emails appearing like phishing, even though they're genuine internal emails. It's really tricky that you bring everyone on board. Yeah. Anyway, that was it. That was that. Thanks, Ollie, for sharing. If you see something out there in the world that you think people should know about, share it. Let us know.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. That's all we've got time for this week, I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interview episode with Dan is out there. So if you want to watch that, go watch my conversation with Dan at Goldfish. Probably should have mentioned that right at the beginning of the show, but we'll put that in the newsletter. And yeah, we'll be back next week with more stories, more news, more breaches, and some interesting stuff we've seen on the socials.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool. Right. See you next week.
Catch you next week.
See you later.